Philippine Agricultural Engineering Standards. PAES 101. Agricultural Machinery. Technical Means for Ensuring Safety. This standard is a revision of the Philippine National Standard PNS 606, 1991, General Code of Safety for Agricultural Machinery. The revision was initiated by the Agricultural Machinery Testing and Evaluation Center, AMTEC, under the project entitled Enhancing the Implementation of AFMA through Improved Agricultural Engineering Standards, which was funded by the Bureau of Agricultural Research of the Department of Agriculture. This revised standard was reviewed by the Technical Committee for Study 1 Development of Standards for Agricultural Production Machinery and was circulated to various private and government agencies, organizations concerned for their comments and reactions. This standard was presented to the Philippine Society of Agricultural Engineers PSAE and subjected to a public hearing organized by the National Agriculture and Fisheries Council NAFC. The comments and reactions received during the presentation and public hearing were taken into consideration in the finalization of this standard. This standard has been technically revised in accordance with PNS 01, Part 4, 1998 Rules for the Structure and Drafting of Philippine National Standards. This standard provides guidelines pertaining to the prevention of accidents arising from the use of tractors and machinery for agriculture. It also specifies technical means of improving the degree of safety of operators and others involved in the course of normal operation. Service and maintenance of the machine. Principles in providing safety. Tractors and machinery for agriculture shall be designed and constructed in such a way that they do not cause danger when properly used. Operating and maintaining the machine should be carried out in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions. These requirements shall primarily be met by the design of the machine. If this is not possible, the machine shall be equipped with special means for ensuring safety. For example, guards or safe location of the dangerous parts. Functional components that need to be exposed for correct operation shall be shielded to the maximum extent permitted by the intended function of the components. Additionally, in such circumstances, warning of the hazard shall be indicated on the machine. Moving parts treated as dangerous. In general, all moving parts shall be treated as dangerous. Particular attention is drawn to the following: all shafts, including joints, shaft ends and crank shafts, pulleys, flywheels, gearing, including friction roller mechanisms, cables, sprockets, belts, chains, clutches, couplings, and all blades or wings of fans, the run-on point of any belt, chain or cable, keyways, keys and grease nipples, etc., that protrude from moving parts, all points where the danger of pinching or shearing is possible, ground wheels or tracks adjacent to the operator's position, standing platform, seat, footrest, and passenger seat, where provided. Guard types. There are 3 types of guards designed to prevent contact with the moving parts by a person and/or clothing. These may be classified as shield or cover, casing, and enclosure, and are described respectively as follows. Shield or cover. Protective devices designed and fitted so that alone or with other parts of the machine, they prevent the dangerous part being reached from the side or sides covered. Casing. Protective device designed and fitted so that, alone or with other parts of the machine, it prevents contact with the dangerous part from all sides. Enclosure. Protective device, which by means of a rail, fence, frame or the like ensures the safety distance necessary so that the dangerous part cannot be reached inadvertently. These are the illustrations. For shield or cover, for casing, and for enclosure. Safety distance will be discussed later on. Guard construction. Guards shall be sufficiently strong, unless it is clearly inappropriate. These shall, without cracking, tearing or permanently deflecting, withstand a perpendicular static load of 1,200 Newton, where a guard is in such position that it may occasionally be used as a step. Guards shall be rigidly fixed, have no sharp edges, be weather resistant and retain their strength under extremes of temperature. Taking into account the intended use, guards shall normally be permanently attached to the machine. These may be easily opened, in which case these should remain attached to the machine in some way. Should be provided with a convenient means to keep them closed. Permanent attachment includes the use of threaded fasteners, split pins, or other means that can be dismantled with common hand tools. A suitable warning notice shall be fitted to all such guards and to any opening in them without such securing devices. In some circumstances, it is necessary for guards which can be opened to be designed so that the movement of dangerous parts is automatically stopped when the guard is opened, or the design prevents the guard from being opened until all movement of the dangerous parts has ceased. This can be achieved, for example, by designing the guard securing devices so that the part will stop before the guard is opened. Guards may be formed of a welded or rigid mesh or grill. The size of the allowable opening depends on the distance between the guard and the moving parts. The design of the guard shall be such that it is not possible to distort the mesh or the grill during proper use in such a way that the opening size and distance relationship exceeds the limits. Safety distance. There may be circumstances where the requirements of principles in providing safety can be met by ensuring a safety distance. As described in enclosure, it is possible to circumvent the protection provided by a safety distance by the misuse of steps, ladders, boxes, or chairs, etc. But the general principle of a safety distance is acceptable provided the criteria in from dangerous part and pinching point are met so that the dangerous parts are out of reach. Safety distance from dangerous part. The safety distance is based on measurements from the location where a person can occupy to operate or maintain or inspect the dangerous part. There are 6 classifications under dangerous parts. Upward reach, reach below barriers, reach over barriers, round reach, inside reach through guards and openings. Under openings is polygonal openings. Upward reach. The safety distance for upward reach is 2,500 mm for persons standing upright. Reach below barriers. No safety distance is specified where it is possible to reach below a safety barrier. Unless the aperture is small enough to be considered only in relation to finger or hand or arm access, in which case the requirements of openings may apply. Reach over barriers. The height of barriers which is less than 1,000 mm above the location shall not be acceptable. Seen in the figure is the principles for determining the distance required from a guard to the dangerous part. The safety distance for sideward or downward reach over barriers of 1,000 mm or greater height depends on at the distance from the ground level to the dangerous part. B. The height of the guard. C. The horizontal distance between the dangerous part and the guard. When designing a barrier, the dimensions in the table shall be met. Dimensions are in millimeters. Round reach. The table shows the extent of reach around barriers taking into account the aperture and the distance from other obstructions. Dangerous components shall be beyond these limits if they are not independently guarded. Dimensions are also in millimeters. Inside reach through guards. The safety distances depend on the shape of the openings. Openings. The openings shall not exceed the size appropriate to the distance of the guard from the moving part. Table 1. Reach dimensions through rectangular opening or slot. When the width is greater than 135 mm. Part of the body can also pass the aperture. In this case, safety distances that will be discussed in pinching point shall be observed. Table 2. Reach dimensions through mesh or grill. Dimensions are all in millimeters. Polygonal openings. Where the diameter of the largest circle that can be inscribed is not less than the distance between the 2 apexes that are the furthest apart shall meet the same requirements as for round openings. The diameter of the inscribed circle shall be regarded as the size of the opening. All other polygonal openings shall be regarded as slots. Safety distance in pinching point. A pinching point is considered dangerous for the parts of the body illustrated in the table if the appropriate minimum separation distance is not maintained. The design of the machine shall ensure that the next bigger part of the body cannot pass through. Dimensions are in millimeters. Provisions of information. Operating manuals. Where safety precautions are necessary during operation and servicing of agricultural machines. Appropriate instructions shall be provided with the machine. Operating manuals shall also include a warning that a revolving hitch or a revolving clevis shall not be connected with a mating unit which also revolves on a towed machine or trailer. Warning notices. Durable warning notices shall be affixed to the machine where parts present danger to the operator. Also included are circumstances where the inadvertent lowering of parts of equipment can cause danger. Particular danger or safety warnings shall be indicated on the notice. Existing national or other regulations may require specific symbols, sizes, layout or color. The warning notice shall be either pictorial or text in a language acceptable to the user or, if appropriate, the national regulating authority concerned. Working stability. Machines and trailers that may create a danger to the user through tilting, as a result of the shifting of the center of gravity, shall be provided with means of preventing such danger. Hydraulically raised components that need to be held in a raised position to allow servicing or adjustment shall be provided with an independent and reliable means of retaining them in the required position. Operator's workplace. There are 4 important things to remember when you are in the workplace. Handholds and steps. Operating positions. Seats. And operating controls. Handholds and steps. Importance. Any machine on which the presence of a driver or operator is necessary, including any place to which access is required for service or maintenance, shall be fitted with handle or handholds and steps so the person has a safe, convenient means of mounting and dismounting. Design requirements. Both handholds and steps may be parts of the machine if they are suitably designed and placed. Steps shall be designed in relation to the general construction in order to ensure protection from moving parts. If moving parts, for example tire sections, form restrictions or trapping areas with the steps, a suitable means of protection shall be provided. Steps shall have a non-slip surface and vertical retainer at both sides. Dimensions of steps. Multi-step configuration and single-step configuration. The dimensions for steps will normally be found in the parts of this standard relating to specific machines. Where there is no specific provision, the steps shall comply with the dimensions in millimeters as shown in figures. Where access is provided by a series of steps which are designed to be used alternately each by 1 foot, then the minimum width and height specified do not apply. Take note. 1. Minimum clearance and not size of tread surface. 2. The dimensions shall be obtained also with the largest tires, normally inflated. 3. The vertical distance between adjacent steps shall be equal, within a tolerance of plus 20 mm. Example of multi-step configuration. Example of handhold. Operating positions. Means shall be provided to prevent the operator from falling from his workplace. Any platform on which the operator is required to stand during the operation of the machine shall be level and shall have a non-slip surface. And if necessary, drainage shall be provided. Platform shall be provided with the following. 1. Foot guard or toe board on all sides, which shall be fitted around the edge of the platform or not more than 50 mm farther away and shall extend not less than 75 mm above the platform. 2. Guard rail which shall be not less than 1000 mm and not more 1100 mm above the platform, and an intermediate rail so that the vertical distance between any two rails does not exceed 500 mm. However, it is not required to provide a foot guard or fixed guard rails for the platform. 1. When the machine itself affords protection at least equal to that which the foot guard and guard rail would provide if these were fitted. 2. When the operation permits access of persons or movement of material. A rail or chain shall be provided across the access when the machine is operating. Seat. On a machine on which the operator is required to sit, a seat shall be provided which will adequately support the operator in all working and operating modes. Adequate and comfortable support and protection for the feet shall be provided. The operating controls, such as steering wheel or steering levers, transmission levers, cranks, pedals, and switches, shall be arranged and fitted in such a way as to allow safe and easy control and manipulation by an operator in the normal operating position. Pedals and controls shall be positioned so that they do not obstruct access. The function of the controls shall be marked on or near the control. Steering mechanism. The steering mechanism shall be so designed as to reduce the force of any sudden movement of the steering wheel or steering levers due to reaction from the steered wheels. Lifting and lowering controls. Provision shall be made to protect and locate controls so as to prevent accidental operation which may cause dangerous movement. Clutches. The following requirements shall be complied with where appropriate. 1. Foot-operated clutches. It should be located in a position convenient to the operator's left foot. To disengage, the pedal should be pushed forward. In such case of a combined traction drive PTO clutch, the PTO shall be disengaged on the second stage. 2. Hand-operated clutches. It should be located in a position convenient to the operator. To disengage, the control should be moved rearward. Control should be operated only with the operator in the operator's station. Stopping devices for power sources. Every power source shall be fitted with a device by means of which it can be stopped quickly. It shall be so designed that it does not depend on sustained manual effort for its operation, and that, when it is in the stop position, the power source cannot be started unless the device is reset manually. This device shall be readily accessible, on manned machines, to the operator in his normal operating position. On unmanned machines, on or near the power source or near the operating control position. The purpose and method of operation shall be clearly indicated. The control shall be red in color and preferably in contrast with the background and other controls. Valves, taps and switches. In the case of hand-operated valves, taps and switches are their means of control provided for controlling pneumatic, hydraulic or electrical systems. The function and effect of the device in each of its positions shall be clearly indicated. Where necessary for safety reasons. Pedals. Pedals shall be of adequate size and of appropriate configuration. These shall have slip-resistant surfaces in order to minimize the possibility of the operator's foot slipping off the pedals. And where necessary, be provided with a rim at the edge of the pedal. Differential locks. Any manually operated device fitted to a machine to lock the differential gear shall be designed and fitted so that there is a clear indication to the operator that the lock is engaged. It shall be designed so that it minimizes the possibility of inadvertent actuation. Please refer to PAES 104 for the type, location, and method of operation of controls for agricultural tractors, self-propelled and pedestrian-operated machines, and for more information, means for moving and supporting machines. Hitches. Mobile machines that are not self-propelled shall be provided with suitable hitch devices. Machines used for towing or which are towed shall be provided with a towing device constructed and fitted to be secure for the purpose. Under hitches are as follows. 1. Hitch hook. If the towing machine is equipped with a hitch hook, it shall be in accordance with ISO 64891. The towed machine shall, in such case, have a drawbar eye according to ISO 5692. 2. Drawbars. The drawbar shall be situated in the longitudinal mid-plane of the tractor. The diameter of the hole in the drawbar should be 33 mm. The thickness of the drawbar shall be not more than 32 mm. Jacks and supports. 1. Machines, which are not stable when disconnected, shall be provided with a jack or other support to prevent tilting. Supports shall be attached to avoid the risk of losing them. But these may be detached only if necessary to permit the machine to operate. 2. Non-stable machines or trailers having a drawbar shall be provided with a jack capable of raising or lowering the drawbar. The jack shall be constructed and secured to the machine so as to prevent the drawbar from falling when the jack is in use and shall have a base of adequate size to prevent it from sinking into soft ground. This requirement applies to all trailers of unladen mass bear weight exceeding 500 kilograms. Any other machine when the machine is unladen and the downward force acting through the drawbar at the hitch point exceed 250 Newton. The downward force acting through the drawbar shall be measured with the machine stationary on horizontal ground and the drawbar hitch point at a height of 400 mm above the ground. This requirement shall not apply to a machine or trailer with a drawbar designed to be picked up mechanically by the towing vehicle. But in such cases, a stand capable of securely supporting the drawbar with the hitch point 150 mm above the ground level shall be fitted. Power transmission. 1. Power takeoff PTO. The PTO shall be protected as indicated in A. When in use, a cover or a casing that protects the sides of the PTO shall be fitted. B. An additional non-rotating casing shall be provided when the cover or casing is not in position and when the PTO is not in use. This casing shall encase the PTO completely and be fixed to the tractor or machine body. C. The provisions covering instructions of guards shall also be met. 2. Power intake connection PIC. The PIC shall be protected as indicated in A. A casing which completely encloses PIC and overlaps the casing fitted to the PTO drive shaft so that no part of the shaft is exposed at any time shall be fitted. B. The provisions covering construction of guards shall also be met. 3. PTO drive shafts. The drive shaft shall be protected as indicated in A. A casing which provides stationary protection against contact with the PTO drive shaft and protects the shaft throughout its length whether the machine is towed, mounted, or semi-mounted, shall be fitted. B. The guard shall be firmly mounted, that is, it shall be detachable only by means of tools. It may be permanently fitted to the shaft. C. The provisions covering construction of guards shall also be met. Miscellaneous. 1. Exhaust pipes. The outlet of the exhaust pipe shall be located and directed in such a way that the driver or any other operator obliged to stand on the machine will not normally be exposed to harmful concentrations of noxious gases or fumes. For example, by locating the outlet over or to the side of the head level of the operator or the air intake of the cab. 2. Hot parts. Protection shall be provided to minimize the possibility of inadvertent contact with any exposed element which may cause burns during mounting, dismounting, or operating the tractor or machine. 3. Battery. The location of the batteries shall be such that hazards to the operator due to fumes and electrolyte are minimized. Don't fall for society's illusion of success. We're all successful in our own way. Thank you so much for watching. Like this video, subscribe and turn on the notification bell to be updated for more Philippine Agricultural Engineering Standards videos. Let's all be better agricultural engineering student. See you in the next part. Bye. Rar.